How Weathers, the way that it came to be was earlier in the year. I was casting for the movie Just Another Night, and there were two people that auditioned that I did not pick. However, I was very interested in working with both of them, these actors being Scott Bernard Nelson and Kathy Willoughby. Now, I've gotten some good feedback on Recipe for Disaster, so I wanted to go with comedy again, and I had the idea of like Hardy Boys meets Arsenic and Old Lace. So I wrote out a little premise, I sent it out to the actors, they both said that they liked it. So all I had to do now was cast the 2 extra roles that were written into this project. Originally the kid was just a voiceover on the phone. There was an acting coach on Facebook that made a post about his daughter had just done her first feature film and was hoping to get more opportunities for her. So I commented, I said, hey, I can write a kid into this script here. He said, okay. And I looped him into the email chain, and then I needed to cast the other of the Sinister Sisters for the duo. I got 3 submissions for that. I ended up picking Diane because she had a very theatrical approach to it that worked really well for the comedic tones that we were going for with it. I ended up not picking Debbie Marr for this one. However, I really appreciated everything she did in her audition, so I wrote a short for her, which we will talk about later on. When we were picking the dates for this, the acting coach was being a little bit wishy-washy about availability with his daughter. And eventually, I just had to say, hey, are you still going to do this? After everyone had agreed to a time for a read-through, agreed to a date, and he said, actually, we're going to be on vacation. So I had to recast a child role. I got 2 submissions, and Ellie was the clear standout in that one, so I ended up giving it to Ellie. The last thing I need to do was get a location. There's somebody in the MCM, which is the McMinnville Cinema Media Group, which is a film group one town over, that said that their girlfriend actually had a house that would really fit the script very well. We had our location, we had our cast, we had our story. I was in Seattle working on another project when I got a message that one of our cast members, Ellie, ended up getting ill with COVID. So I needed to rework the script because she was going to still be contagious by the time that we were filming. So the exterior stuff had to be done weeks later, and I did some quick rewrites, reworked it scenes so that way it was just voiceovers at the front door and at the back door. And at this point, it was May of 2022. The COVID mandates were lifted as far as the masks indoors and all of that. But I still wanted to follow COVID procedure because I feel like it's very important to prioritize people's safety. So I wore a mask at all times on set. My production assistant, August, also was wearing a mask at all times. I individually packed everybody's lunch. Everyone had individual water bottles. I had spent months drawing up the storyboard for a short that I got hired to be the cinematographer for. And, no, I don't know how to phrase this. Leading up to the shoot for this, there was another short that I got hired to be the DP for, and I'd spent months prepping for that shoot. And the actual filming process itself, it was a very, very negative experience for me. And in tandem with that, I was doing a shoot in Seattle that it was unpaid. It was a passion project. I was one of the principal characters in that, and I went broke doing that one. I had to spend all of what I had in my savings just for gas and to get to and from there. So I was depleted, I was financially drained. I did pay all the casting crew in this and How Weathers as well. By the end of May, I was completely burnt out. I had to leave the restaurant chain that I've been working for almost 10 years because the Portland branch, the staff, was just so bad that every day that I would come there, it's like when you can be dependable and people can count on you, there are some places that you work at that'll take advantage of that, and they will work you to the bone, and they'll just let other people skate by let them call off and they won't fire them or hold any disciplinary action because they're short-staffed and they just can't afford to lose anybody. And there was a server there that was bullying me to the point that I eventually, like, I had my moment where I had to just go to a private part of the restaurant. And I just spent like an hour like this, and I was like, God, please, please give me a sign if I'm supposed to leave. Like, am I supposed to quit? Do I need to move on? And there was a lot leading up to that, so I ended up leaving my jobs in June. Oh no, I guess it was the end of July, wasn't it? And I've been so broke because every month I have a $500 car payment for paying off the car that I had to get at the end of last year. And it was impossible to save up for anything, so I quit my job in July, and it took me, at the very end of July, and it took me about 10 days to find a new job. Needless to say, I left a bad job for an even worse job, and then I got a second job in tandem with that one. I was working 40 hours a week during the day, and then I was working another job about 10 hours a week at night, and both of those jobs were worse than my restaurant job. I'd also been spread thin because I've been making the costumes for a friend's movie that I've been working on, and I've been hand sewing everything. It's been really, really difficult, but really rewarding and really time consuming. And working 50 hours a week and over 200 hours a month was taking a toll on my mind and my happiness and my body too, and it still does a little bit. And then, you know, we shift into the later part of the year where there's almost no sun and you're not getting that vitamin D, and it's really hard, you know, seasonal affective, you know, feelings. I don't want to say disorder because I'm not been diagnosed with anything, but I also had been spreading myself thin with, I had a student film I was doing which took way longer than it should have done. Been dealing with things within family matters that have been, I'm just going to leave that out. And I had so many of these other self-imposed obligations that I needed to do, and I had 2 other shorts that I was working on. I had burnt out so far beyond being able to function outside of waking up, working, and then going to sleep, that I think all of that contributed to this taking way longer to edit and put out than I ever intended it for it to be.
What makes you think they're dead? What is that?
Can you just give me the sip one more time and keep, because you coming forward, you're blurring out of focus there.
Yep.
And just feel free to give me an eye one more time, like, say it as you're pouring, like, what makes you think they're dead?
Okay.
Like, the quickest, that you can do that. I think it'll help
Okay.
the comedy of that one.
Like a homemade cookie. It's all starting to make sense. The toys, the treats, the vaguely veiled metaphors.
And then sit down. I just want that one more time. I just really want to start with that puzzle, like a homemade cookie. And then pause. I want you to hear the word eureka in your head before you say anything else. Okay. Like, it was Mrs. Peacock with the candelabra in the billiard room. Like, it's building. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that's you building up to the big, it was you.
Okay.
Action.
Like a homemade cookie. It all makes sense. The toys, the treats, the vaguely veiled metaphors. See what you've done. Okay.
Yeah.
So where do you want me to start?
And you're good right there. We're gonna, after that chime.
Mr. Weathers, we don't use children in our recipes.
This is the Sanderson sisters. Yep. Start even more light, more fun. Like, oh, what a big misunderstanding. Little brats. Yeah.
Eating children. How ridiculous.
Honestly.
Okay, just hold for 1 sec on that one. Can I get you starting to say that as you're pulling up the window?
And
Yep.
say the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll do that. I'll just take literally half a step and do that.
Yeah, you can start saying it as you're lifting it up.
And then as I do that, then you say your line?
Yeah, and she's gonna be right here.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
That helps. Focal point.
Or actually, can you look about here?
Yep. Left edge of the bush.
Can I just need to be able to see your face. Try here. There. Okay. So this post right here.
Yep, you got it.
And I'll keep my hand on here for you.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, mister, my frisbee went over the fence.
Sorry, interview in process.
Interview in progress.
Progress.
And almost don't even look to her until you start your line. Sorry, interview in progress. Like, you're still talking to her because you don't care about her very much at all.
Okay.
You're still talking to Kathy.
Okay.
Yep. And then if, however close down you can crouch, that's better.
Okay.
Thank you. Action.
Anything to help the kid.
Hey, mister, my frisbee went over the fence.
Sorry, interview in progress.
Okay. Let's go spin this. Action. Yes, my uncle just passed away a couple weeks ago, and it was a little bit unexpected because we thought he had until at least January, but it was just his health took a really, really bad turn all of a sudden. Hi, Spencer.
Are you going to be a movie star, Spencer?
Yeah. Don't walk out of the shot. Come here. Do you want a piece?
Don't be. Watch your
Okay.
step. Don't let we open it. Huh? You might.
Yeah, but that footage wasn't. I
Very
love
far
you.
away.
That's a 541. No, then?
Oh, why do you want to
No worries. No, I'm with the paper. We have some questions about the disappearances. You want to do a follow-up story?
Jan, I'm already bored.
It involves dead bodies and stuff, so
That's true,
probably,
yes.
yeah. And
Wait, so does your movie.
yeah, kinda.
We just
I mean,
don't see 'em.
she's not there yet.
Right.
She's still kicking at the end.
Oh. Don't get old.
I'll try not to.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
all tried.
Why?
Right.
Why?
Right. You got another one right behind you.
Seriously?
That's the nature of it, you know, at this scale.
That's why big productions like block off entire city blocks to control it all.
Okay, let me just make sure I got you in focus here. Perfect. Just the gaps, kid. Okay.
Are we doing it again?
Yep, one more time.
One more, okay.
One more on this one.
Life on the film set's always one more time.
The biggest lie we ever tell.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
You got a little bug friend on you.
That's okay. We're
As
pals.
long as they're friends.
My allergies have been crazy.
It is that time of year. We're going to do a follow-up story.
I'm already bored.
And then the way that this is going to work when I'm editing everything together, I'm going to be able to cut between the takes and overlap your dialogue a little bit. So I know you're supposed to interrupt him with yawn. I'm already bored. let him just have a little bit of time to finish that line and wait a second before you say yawn.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's okay.
That was a mistake.
No, it's not a mistake. It's just an editing thing because I have such clean audio of you saying that. It'll help me when I'm cutting between the takes there.
Okay.
Yep, so just a little bit of space after that.
A bug was landing on the back of my ear while we were doing that scene.
What?
I was trying not to swat it as we walked.
The fear awakened.
Right.
I have like reoccurring nightmares of like bugs crawling in my ears and living in my brain.
But it was on me, not you, so you're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All bees attack this man.
Well, thank you.
Whereas she's a little more like, you're very warm and welcome. You're like, oh, I'm Christy. Just like, I mean,
Okay,
you're
more
you're not a grandma age, but just like sweet like a grandma would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Christy. How can we help you, Mr. Weathers?
I think we're looking in the lens a
I'm
little
looking
bit.
wrong.
It's like- it's okay.
Place.
Ding dong. Why don't we just go back to
Oh,
yeah. It's fine. We're cutting to his reaction, so I'll just give you a snap, and that's just the
Yeah.
doorbell. Yeah.
is that the doorbell or the? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you were calling me a ding dong. Prevent that.
No. Oh my goodness. What?
Yeah, I go by that too.
What am I, Stanley Kubrick? Okay. Did I leave the stove on? Oh, I hope I folded the laundry. I think it's gonna rain. When is this fool gonna leave my house? You know what? I want some more sugar. Let's stir some more sugar in the tea. Lean back. Smirk at him. Okay, perfect on that.
But the sugar!
It's stevia.
Yeah, okay.
Give me the stevia one more time, but it's just very cavalier, like stevia. Like, I get it, it's not, it's gross.
Stevia. Okay, yeah. It's stevia.
Ew.
It's ready and rolling. Go ahead and roll sound.
Oh,
We're just gonna wait on. Oh, we didn't roll yet. I'll just keep doing it, but do it evil, like as evil as possible. Can you start a new cookie on this one and just lean a little bit further back? It was getting a little bit blurry there, but it's.
Give me a minute. Finally a scene I'd be good at.
Okay, and then
You were still evil?
yes. Yeah, cut. So what I learned from this experience is that if you're going to both be the boom up and the gimbal on the day that you film an exterior, put sunscreen on your arms, because mine roasted and my skin was peeling for 2 weeks after that, I think. Even when it seems unnecessary, follow safety procedures. So keep wearing your mask if you feel even a little bit sick, because you do not want to be responsible for anybody else getting sick on your set. And don't spread yourself too thin. That's easier said than done. But I know for myself moving forward, anytime that I'm working on a film project, I will not start another one until I finish the previous one, because I booked myself throughout the rest of the year developing scripts for other talent. I know this isn't the generally upbeat way that I like to talk back about movies after the fact when I'm doing the behind the scenes, but just being transparent, that's where I've been. My life is going to get considerably better in the coming weeks, in the coming year. I made the decision to leave both of the jobs that I've been working for the last 3 months. What I've decided for myself is that I'm no longer living to work as I've been doing. I always feel like life kicks you down with expenses when you can't afford them, and I always try to protect myself by working more than I am capable of working and not spending any money on myself, which has served me in the past, but in 2023, I'm working to live. So I plan on enjoying my life. I plan on setting boundaries of when I'm willing to work, and I will be going back to food service because it is the only way to survive in this day and age. Where I live, groceries have doubled in price in just the last year and a half, or maybe 2 years. Thankfully gas has dipped a bit, but it was over $5 at the station by my apartment which is the cheapest gas in town. And with that 500 monthly car payments, and I pay $1,000 in car insurance now, whereas I used to just pay $300 in car insurance a year. I've been priced out of everything. I can't really afford to keep making movies the way that I believe is ethical, which is providing meals for everybody every day and paying everybody a reasonable amount. So, the next project that I'm going to be directing and working on is one that is completely illustrated, and it's all just run by voiceovers, but I will have complete control over the location, I have complete control over how long that I film everything, and the best part is that it's just me. I don't have to have anybody else there to help me. That'll make things a lot easier. I'm really excited for it, and it might be a while before you see another short from me with people in it after I put out these next two. The next two movies, one is called Jackie, stars Debbie Marr, it's a drama, and the one after that is called Walk Through Fire. It has Regina Galvic and Minju Jang in it, and that one is also a drama, slightly more on the horror side than Jackie is. Those two are probably going to come out around March of next year, because I got a lot of editing and a lot of voiceover to do for that. I will be cutting together a version of that movie that I was the DP for in May, just so I have footage on my end for my reels and all that. However, it is not my movie, and it's going to be very taxing on my mental wellness, my happiness, to relive that experience. So, this is not really a good way to end this one here, especially for a comedy. It's kind of weird that this vlog is so serious. But thanks for listening, and have a happy holiday season.